Hi, happy Monday. How was your weekend? Well, we had a fun weekend. We did a therapy dog. We went to Paws in the Park in Pineville. There's the three P's for you there. Nice alliteration going on. It was fun. We represented the Charlotte canine crew at the airport. We do therapy dog work at the airport. And so we went up there to participate and be of service and help bring some light to this wonderful program they do at the airport. Who knew they needed therapy dogs at the airport? Makes perfect sense now that you think about it with all the craziness going on at the airport. So we are in desperate need when we show up at the airport. People are just like flocked to Chippy. And so while we were there, the woman who was running it, it was the first time I had ever met her. And she was the boss of the lady who usually runs the program, but she couldn't make it because of a family emergency. So it was me and Lori. And so I introduced myself and she was like super happy we're there and we did like our work. And as we were standing around, people started coming up and saying, "Hi, oh my gosh, who's this?" She goes, "Oh yeah, well, this is Barb and Chip." And I'm like, "Barb?" I'm like, "Oh, she must have just slipped. We'll just let it slide. We won't say anything." And then the next people who showed up said, she goes, "Oh yeah, let me introduce you. This is Barb and Chip." And at this point, it became apparent to me, she thinks my name is Barb. What do I do here? Do I let her just continue to call me Barb and feel, when Diana tells her that my name's actually Kelly, she'll feel bad? Or should I just nip it in the bud and tell her? So finally, I just said, I just need to set the record straight. My name's actually Kelly, not Barb. I love the name Barb. It's just not my name. And she was like, "Oh my God." She felt horrible. And I could tell because then things kind of changed from fun to awkward. And I could just tell she was like feeling like I was hating her because she got my name wrong. And I really didn't care. I felt more bad for her than anything. It's certainly not the first time somebody's got my name wrong. In fact, I was sitting there thinking as I was talking about this. I remember one time I was doing a stand-up gig at the Belly Room at the Comedy Store, and the girl who was running it introduced, and I brought half the room to the Belly Room for all my friends. Like the room was pretty much mostly my friends, to be honest. And so when she introduced me as Monique Brockman, and everybody's kind of like, and I was like, so I get up there and I need to address it because I know everybody's thinking Monique, and 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 I'm like, "Oh, it's actually Kelly," and she goes, "Oh, hi, hi, so sorry, so sorry." Very over dramatic, melodramatic over it. And so I wanted to just kind of make light of the situation. So I said, "No worries. Listen, no worries. Monique is my stripper name." So, and everybody laughed, and then I moved on and went on, and I had a great set. Well, afterwards, you would have thought that I was the worst person in the world because I dared to say that was my stripper name, because it turned out this was it was like a Holy Rollers kind of comedy shows. Clean comedy show is what it was. And my act is fairly clean. I never cursed or anything. I had, of course, thrown some innuendos here and there, but it was just very clean act. And she was very mad that I even hinted that I might, be a stripper. And I was covering up for her. And anyway, my manager ended up getting in a big fight with her, and I was banned from ever performing at the Comedy Store again, which is fine with me because Comedy Store was a hot mess half the time anyway. So, but anyway, the power of a name, right? And so, I guess my message today is, we've all kind of had that Barb and Chip moment. I know I have, where like, hi, my name's Kelly. And they're like, "Yeah, I know you." I'm like, "Oh, okay. How?" Or you just don't, you just kind of hope that you kind of listen, hope you can hear their name because you really don't know their name, but you probably should know their name at this point. But it really is just in this day and age, it's great to know someone's name. That's something I'm striving to do because I think it's so powerful to be able to come up to somebody and say, "Hey, Bill, how you doing?" La la la. It just is that personal touch that we miss. But I'm still a self-absorbed alcoholic, trying my best not to be. But I still, like they always say, I'm not much, but I'm all I think about. So I try. I part of my thing that I'm trying to do is get better with names and doing the. So if I see somebody and I don't know their name, I try to find out their name, and sometimes I just have to say, "I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. Please forgive me." And they're like, "Oh, no problem. My name's so and so." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I put it in my brain, like you say it 3 times over and over, and try and associate the name with the face and like a character like Julie. I was having trouble remember this woman's name, Julie, and I was like, Julie Andrews. And so every time I pictured her turning around, the hills are alive. It's like, so when I see her, I was like, oh, that's Julie Andrews, but really Julie. And so I would get her name right because I would associate it with. And it's always kind of scary the first time you say it. It's like, this is Julie. And as long as they don't say anything, like, oh, okay, whew. It's not Barb and Chip. But I guess that also the thing is if you accidentally do screw up and call somebody the wrong name, it's no big deal. Really, it's not. It's nice to get it, but people understand. People know, and everybody's had those moments. So don't feel embarrassed by it. Just apologize and move on. That's all you can do, So I guess my message to you today, I just kind of wanted to share my funny stories, to be honest. So we're going to turn it into a message. It is try to remember people's names as best you can today. And if you don't, it's no big deal. Don't sweat it. Move on and get on with the day and just remember the next time. And don't be afraid to say, oh, I don't remember your name. Sorry. I'm a self-absorbed person. That's who I am. Not saying you're self-absorbed if you can't remember names, because that's not the message at all. It's just saying that's who I am. That's who I am. So I'm trying to defeat that little character defect of mine by being more cognizant of people's names and seeing if I can get better with them. So I hope whatever your name is out there, whether it be Barb or Monique, whatever it is, I hope you have a great day, great week. I won't be around next week. We're going to head out for spring break. So I'm going to be on my way to Boston to see all the beautiful sights in Boston. And I'll be back the following week. So have a wonderful week and 2 weeks, actually. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks with another Monday message. Bye.